Here we go. Obviously, you see the character on the screen. This isn't an online training mode this time, but I am in call with Slash. Say what's up.
What's up?
Yeah, this is a video that there's only one person I can think of to do it, and thankfully we're here. I think right now the noise with May is probably at an all-time high again. I know that before season 3, she was considered one of the best, obviously, or if not the best by a lot of people. And now we're kind of back at that point again where she's being talked about like that in that standard. So like, it's easy to see why she's good. Her strengths are pretty easy to point out. But I mean, I guess the first thing we could talk about is obviously Dolphin. I believe that's her identity in this game. Talk to me about S Dolphin and H Dolphin a bit, and what makes those moves so important and good.
First often, like, yes, it is a neutral skip. It's like -3 on block, it's pretty safe, it's very fast, right? But it's often can be like, let's say, when you whiff against May, when she has no meter,
Yeah.
like before Wild Assault, it was scary. It was not scary because all she could have gotten was a button, like let's say to S Dolphin.
Yeah.
Right, and now if she had meter, it's too scary because she deals a lot of damage with into meter.
Yeah.
But now, like with Wild Assault, it's scary to whiff punish against her. But even like, she has more easier access to meter because she can build meter with Wild Assault. Like, let's say her burst gauge is gone, right? She has RC, so she has like a lot of ways to whiff punish you.
Yeah.
Like when Wild Assault is gone, like as I think about this Dolphin is like, let's say Ram is a good example because Ram players like to fight for their space or dash block at May.
Yeah.
But if I ever think like you're gonna press a button like Ram Fast Slash, which is like, I forgot how many frames is it? Is it like
11? 11.
Yeah. And if I predicted I throw S Dolphin, it gives me a big counter hit, which leads to like a possible wall break.
Yeah.
Yeah, that used to be. I mean, it's still very strong, but it used to be very strong because you get like a full combo to wall break into hard knockdown. But now Wild Assault hard knockdown is gone, so it is still pretty strong.
Yeah.
I like to think of S Dolphin as like not only something to do as an initiation. It can be used as a counter initiation as well.
And then obviously H Dolphin is more of a pressure tool.
It's more of a pressure tool. You can do it like as a meaty or like, let's say I do a 2G into H Dolphin. It's very good. And like if the AFD is still like, you can make them like, you can do like dash 2K.
Yeah.
And like, but like I don't recommend using it in obvious ways. The less you use it, the better it is.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. And obviously, with the addition of Season 3, May received a new move due to her being one of the original members of the cast. I believe it's called Split. Talk to me a bit about how important that is to her gameplay and how good you believe the new move is overall.
I think when they added it to the game, it had really bad buffer system. And a lot of all May players talked about it on Twitter, and they fixed it in 3.5, season 3.5.
Yeah.
So what it was like in season 3, it's like you had to time it very precisely to continue your combo. But now with the change, they made it much easier. You can just mash. I think when they made it easier, it's like an automatic buff towards her pressure. Like you don't have to like time the S Dolphin buffer. Now you can just mash it and like if you want to steal a turn or something like that.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good. So the Dolphin Split, which is like the P version, I think it's one of the biggest things into her pressure, especially the 6H guard break.
Yeah.
Because whenever she does 6H guard break, you either do 6H into like dash or 6H into H Dolphin.
Yeah.
Well, now if they block a guard break 6H, you're into a 50-50 with the P split. So you either catch like them trying to fuzzy jump or do a command throw, which I think is very strong because it's also builds a lot of risk.
Of course. And I guess one of the things I wanted to ask you as well is when talking about May, obviously you touched over S Dolphin a bit and its use. Do you believe you already said the move is very strong, but do you think it has potential to be the best move in the game, or do you think it's a bit overrated from how people talk about it?
I think it's top 5.
Okay.
I have no. I don't know if it's the. I mean, it can be. It is a contender for the best.
Gotcha.
But like, you get moves like Happy Chaos CDM or like.
Yeah.
I think that move is like
Very, very good.
it is the most broken move I've ever seen in a fighting game.
Yeah.
It,
Good.
like you have curse as well.
Mhm.
That curse. I mean, but in terms of like, let's say count hit reward, I think it like count hit itself. I think its Dolphin is the best.
Mhm.
But like I cannot say its Dolphin is like sorry, I cannot say Nago Beyblade is better than its Dolphin.
Yeah.
Like because it costs the reward. Like regular hit is better, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
like it's like a high cost. So I've been thinking about. I think they're like the same because I would say they're the same strength. I mean, not in the same way, but like
Mhm.
Nago Beyblade is a low, and
Yeah.
I think it's that thing is huge.
Yeah. Of course.
But like I could definitely see Estolfa being a contender for the best. But like I think for me the best move is Happy CDA.
Of course. Of course. And it's funny, like I've said, I've said this last couple of videos as well. Everyone I talk to somehow finds a way to bring in Happy Chaos. It's like this character is just, he's so good. But I guess one of the things I want to ask you as well is about May's neutral in a nutshell. So obviously we talked a bit about again about S Dolphin, how it can be used in neutral and whatnot, but just in general. So she has a great backdash. Her jump is very floaty, which I'm gonna guess is situationally good depending on the matchup. I
Yeah.
know she got a buff to her beach ball, so it now I believe there's like an explosion. Um, and obviously her normals are very disjointed. I believe they're on the slower end, but I believe, I could put the hitboxes on the screen. They're just, you know, very
I mean,
active and good
hmm.
normals overall. What would you rate May's with everything considered? Where would you rate May's neutral from a scale from 1 to 10 in your opinion?
I think it's a 9 or like 8.5
Okay.
because I think her balance are like with the context of her character. I think it's like it's also top 5 or like at least one of the best for her character archetype because she's like a grappler.
Yeah.
She is fast. She has normals. She has like one of the or like if not the fastest special move, skip
Yep.
neutral. She has high health and
Hmm.
like she can out because of wild assault. Her biggest weakness was not being able to whiff punish and get a good reward. Now with wild assault,
Hmm.
she is like almost having no weaknesses from the beginning, which
Yeah.
is huge.
Huge.
But there are some characters like Kai or like Nago that can outspace or like fight her better when it comes to fighting for space. Yeah, Kai and Nago I think are like the best at fighting Mei when it comes to neutral and spacing.
Okay. Um, for sure. And then obviously we talked about it again. Her offense. So the addition of no, sorry, not the addition of Split, and then you mentioned H Dolphin, which is good. The less you use it to kind of keep the opponent on their toes.
Yeah.
Obviously you have the 6H guard crush,
Oh,
but oh, good.
oh no, sorry. In neutral, I forgot something. I forgot about her 3K. Yeah, her 3K is insane.
Oh
I like
yes.
her Joyce. Her Joyce has like interesting interaction, like where she can crouch under some buttons if she like super space.
Hmm.
So she like her Joyce can make her crouch and avoid the buttons.
Yeah.
The biggest example of that is Sin Power Slash. If you
Mm.
like, if you like not in his face or like based, you will crouch under her Power Slash if you in a weird timing, but it is possible. And her 5K, funny enough,
Yeah.
low profile is Leo, or high crush is Leo Jap.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Yeah, I know her 5K is insane. I know that's one of the buttons of all time.
Is
But going back to what I was saying, the offense, there's a lot. She has a lot, but it's pretty simple. There's a lot of RPS included in it. What would you rate her offense? Obviously, it's big damaged, but there are some RPS points which obviously some characters are better at dealing with than others. So, in your opinion, where would you put it?
it highly depends on the matchup, but like I think her RPS is like there are some matchups where like hey she's plus after S Dolphin when it's like against
Hmm.
Bull Lewis for example.
Yeah.
because he can just jab and he has to 6B when he is +3, I think, which is pretty good for her.
Yeah,
But I guess Nago, let's say, oh, I like, yeah, it's definitely his turn.
yeah,
I think, like we were talking about Spectre just now, like she has the hop. If the opponents like don't dash block, like hop is like a gimmicky way to steal turn, in my
yeah.
opinion. And her Dolphin D-Split, I think, is better than her hop because it's very, like, let's say if you do it from Fast Slash or Twist, it's like double digits minus. It's like -12 or -11. But if you do it from 5H, it's like -8. So if they dash block, like, they have to know when to dash block, right? Because, like, when I'm like -8 or -7, if I'm like spaced, let's say if I'm like 6H, I can like just cheesy with the jab if you're not careful.
Of course. Yeah, no. Then I guess the next thing I wanted to ask. So, May obviously is there's so much noise. Again, like I mentioned at the start, there's so much noise on where she can be on a tier list. I'm not gonna ask you for a specific placing, but if you
Yeah.
had to put her in a tier of top tier, high tier, like characters that can win solo, and then the rest of the cast, obviously the characters like maybe like Elfel and Testament, Zato, etc. Where would you place her?
I think she is top 5 in this batch because they moved something that she struggled against in this batch, which is wild assault knockdown. Because you know she has no DP and her super
Yeah.
is like not fast enough against safe jumps.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
think so. I guess like characters like Habikias who can safe jump May. I think wild assault hard knockdown being gone is one of the biggest blocks for her, in my opinion. And I think because of that, she is top 5.
Yeah.
Because she struggles against, sorry, not struggle, but she beats Habikas like convincingly neutral.
Yeah.
But the way the Habikas players used to win is try and like get ahead on May and make sure they snowball with the hard knockdown. Like they go all out with a burst gauge resource just to make sure she doesn't, or like
Yeah.
she always stays in pressure. Like the number one goal for them is not to play against May in neutral, which is yeah fair because her 5K beats like his Twist and can low profile under his fast slash in like specific distance.
Yeah.
So
Of course.
yeah, so they usually do scapegoat and try to stay aim.
Another thing I wanted to ask you as well, and this might take more thinking, but what are some misconceptions about May? What is something that people just don't understand about the character? So like people may say, "Oh, well, she does this and then it leads to this," and then it's like, "Oh, like no, that's actually not true. She's not." I guess something that more people should know about the character that can be heavily like false.
Oh, where do I start? Well, man, I had my share of suffering from these people, including the top players. So I'm like, wow. Now I don't care as much as I used to, thankfully. But it's like, I think the number one thing is like they usually like everybody has been talking about her pressure, but like I think
Yeah.
her pressure without resources is not as broken as they think.
Yeah.
Because like she got back to Chapter's Dolphin,
Yeah.
in some cases, but like if you some people do not know the options that they have. Like they complain, like I see Slayer players do weird stuff like fast slash or two age. I don't know why, but they can do like 5K and try to catch backdash. Or like I don't see people actually dash blocking against May, which is rising for 3 years. Like people, like I think dash blocking against May is number one.
Yeah.
Because if they do hop, they can dash under her. Like the closer she is to you and she does hop, the most likely you go for her. I think the misconception is like when people talk about matchups about May, they're like, no, this character definitely uses to May, no matter what. I'm it's like they instantly, because May can skip neutral, has big damage and stuff like that, and like I think she has really good defense.
Yeah.
But like I don't see people like let's say try to backdash 6H or like there's like a fuzzy timing to backdash 6H.
Yeah.
They sometimes like the people that I see them complain, they let May players they let split block basically.
Yeah.
Like when they're like plus 15 and the May is like minus 15, they just let them steal the turn. Like there's a way basically that you can like fuzzy mesh, like if the May player does split or not, which is like, hey, if the May player doesn't split, just does this dolphin, you block. But if they don't do this dolphin, you can like your button comes out. That's like the fuzzy mesh I'm talking about, and nobody has implemented that. Of course, it depends on spacing, but you'll still be safe because I'm like the moment you throw a button, I'll be like in split recovery, and I'll be like -8. So I think fuzzy meshing is important. That's number one. And people say if D is not that strong against her. Some people.
Yeah.
And I think if D is very strong against her, especially like if you FD the H's Dolphin. So okay, so there's a common frame trap that she has. She does H's Dolphin, then either does 2S or 5K and frame traps your jump. But if you FD that, it will whiff and she has to walk towards you to continue her pressure. I think the biggest thing is, well, May Online is like top one. Like you cannot, you can't entire and shit like that. So when I play people offline, they're like, "Oh, it's not that bad. It's much easier."
Yeah.
I think, like people say, "Oh, you cannot like interact with May." But I'm like, you can interact with May, but like especially if she has no meter. But if she has no meter, she's difficult to interact because of 3K and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What was the things that you heard the most about that people talk about? Because I think I forgot most stuff.
When I hear things about May, it's Dolphin is by far the best move in the game. She just skips Nooch, and even when it's not her turn, her buttons are better than yours. So then she's still actually plus, and she kills you off any hit. And she's the best. Build
plus.
Right. She's always plus. She's never minus. High HP, which I mean, I get the high HP part because I believe if you look at the meta of the game right now, a lot of it is ran by higher health characters. Like you see the increase of Johnny players and him on the tier list. You see Slayer obviously very popular right now, especially being higher on tier list. Nago, Leo, Anji's now getting up there for a lot of people. Soul.
Yeah.
So you know, these higher health characters, so the high HP, the damage, the neutral skip, unfuckwittable offense, kills you, can't anti-hair, all, you know, that's kind of the stuff you hear, right?
Yeah.
Never minus, etc.
Yeah, I mean, in the like if you look at May's recovery balance, it's fast. Like her twist is like long range. Like people say, oh, it's not wave punishable. I think it is wave punishable because I see like I played against many top players and they did wave punish me. Like I played against Leo and like they say her pressure is unfuckable. Like you cannot fuck with her pressure, and I think it's wrong. Yeah. Like especially okay mid screen. In my opinion, I think her 5K 6H is like, if people hold that, I think they're doing something wrong. Like in screen, because like I played against Leo, like he never played with me, and I was surprised with how he played because like if D May 5K, like mid screen, just backdash because like if you're space and if D her 5K, you can backdash to 6H.
Yeah. Because
her 6H is not fully 6 active frames. It's like. It's like there's like first half is like 3 active frames, then second half is like 3 active frames. Yeah. So it's easy to backdash. Like after she presses 5K, it's hard to chase your backdash like with no meter. I mean, even like 3K, the worst like if like I said, if you're spaced, you should be fine unless like she calls it out with like 5K or RC or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which I never do.
Yeah.
I think her neutral. When she has Nago can fuck with her in neutral.
Yeah.
I think because Nago has like 2S, Like if the Mei play is obvious, it's the 3K like your choice. Like Naga Blood level 2 is so like for me as Mei, it's very hard to engage against
Of
because
course.
his buttons outrange mine. I cannot it's Dolphin because it's Dolphin like if he does 5H and I do his Dolphin, I lose. Because like I have to be very close to him. Like there's a weird hitbox interaction
Yep.
between S Dolphin and 5H. Like he's like the wall that Mei cannot approach easily. Kai, like Naga's much harder than Kai, but Kai is like a very difficult case as well because Kai's like he he is like a defensive character. Oh, I think his neutral is like defensive. I mean,
Yeah.
so Mei's very good at approaching, but Kai doesn't mind like sitting there all day.
Mhm.
And Kai has 5K.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna talk about his Dolphin's strength in a certain matchup, like you get like I feel like Kai has so many like tools. Like let's say his 5K is very active, right?
Yes.
Mei cannot just as Dolphin at him because they can just throw that to check your Dolphin if you're like obvious with it, and they can get like a big combo.
Yeah.
I think like people I think people keep saying you can just throw S Dolphin like that, no risk at all, and I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
There is risks. People like let's say Kai or like Nago, they can like hit your S Dolphin and you can like lose 50% because of it.
Characters that are good at confirming off their hits, like that, especially with Orange Wild Assault.
Yeah. Oh, Orange Wild Assault, or just getting to turn starting offense because I think starting against offense against Mei is a big win.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, no, there's a lot, and I'm glad that we were able to talk about that for there was so much to talk about there because, like we said, there is so much talk about this character right now. I think would you agree that in season 3 that this is probably the highest she's been, like, or strongest she's been in all of season 3?
Right now?
Yeah, or do you think maybe she was stronger in 3.5?
No, I think I did not play this match of the Evil at all, by the way. So I mean, seeing everybody complaining about Mei now, I'm like,
yeah, kind of just sitting back.
Yeah, I think this is probably the strongest she's been in season 3 because like she has wave punishing and now she doesn't have to hold what's it called, the wild assault hard knockdown shit.
Yeah,
I think that's very huge.
So yeah, of course, I hear you. And I guess this is kind of another question you might have to think about, and I'm sure you've been asked this, but what are some things that a lot of the times when people talk about Mei, they're like, well, it's only Slash. There's none NA, there's none of anywhere else in the world. It's only Slash. He's the only one that played. You can't rank Mei unless you played Slash. So I guess I want to ask you, what is one thing, and it could be something even like little that is obvious, but what's something that not separates, but something you do or implement in your gameplay that other Mei players should be doing? Like something that when you watch other Mei players play, you're like, they need to do this more and take advantage of this because it's strong and focus maybe less on this. What is something that you can think of when watching other Mei players?
You gotta stop waking up Dolphin. I actually don't know. I don't know, man.
Wake up as Dolphin.
No, waking up Dolphin.
Up Dolphin.
Yeah, I don't know why. You gotta stop that.
Yeah, that is more common.
I mean, okay, that's one, and I think I don't know what actually separates me from them, but it's like I think when I watch Mei plays, they always jump and they don't stay grounded. I think I'm probably one of the Mei players that stay grounded the most. I mean, I jump a lot, but it's like staying grounded and fighting for your space. Well, I'm not gonna say I mean, my defense is good, but I match too, so.
Yeah, Yeah.
What's it? Actually, okay, I think the way I try to run offense, I try to like be tricky with offense,
Yep.
and sometimes maybe I just end pressure with S Dolphin or like they don't try to steal turns at all. I try to steal turns often. Oh yeah, I think May is also very strong because DBRC is gone. DBRC is gone is huge. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, and staying grounded and that. I think matchup knowledge
Yeah.
too.
That's big.
Like most May players I see kinda struggle against Asuka. Well, I think May beats Asuka, but like I don't know how Asuka made dispatches because while the her knockdown was very important against Asuka.
I see.
Yeah, and what else? I feel like no, I try to avoid risky decisions. I try to calculate like high risk, low risk, high reward.
Yeah.
So usually they do is like high risk, high reward. I'm like, I try to minimize the risk as much as possible, or try to play it slow.
Yeah.
Like most of them try to play too fast, or like, uh, I think meter usage too. Sometimes like they just go in and do 3K, and the opponent blocks, and now they wasted meter, which I think meter management is very important
Yeah.
to do as May.
Of course.
Because in Guilty Gear, when you have meter, the risk reward completely changes, and I think with May is like you have to be very conservative with it. I think that's the word.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. No. Of course, I hear you. One of the other things I want to ask you is, in terms, and I guess this is also something that you hear people say about May. It's, well, she's also the easiest character in the game in the world. My dog can play May. She's this, that, right? So, in your opinion, if you had to put May on a scale for difficulty, obviously there could be like, is she easy to learn, hard to master? Is she really hard to learn, easy to master? Maybe in the middle. What would you say?
Easy to access,
Hard to learn or hard to master? Sorry.
hard to master. Yeah, I think
Okay.
she's easy access, and I think the other character is easier than her.
Um.
Bro, Sin is right there.
Thank
Elfelt is right there.
you.
Like, Gio is right there, man.
What do you believe makes May hard to master? Because I believe that a lot of people outside of you will disagree with this.
Okay, when I say hard to master, I don't mean like, hey, combos
Mm-hmm.
and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
I think okay, her combos. I think the only hard one to start with is like the D routes
Mm.
because you have to know when you can do it and when you cannot.
Yeah.
When I say hard to master, I think it's matchups, right?
Yeah.
Because we are literally 3 years into the game,
Mm-hmm.
and people know May's like layer 2 or layer 1 like approach in neutral. They know what to look out for, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you are a beginner with May, unless like a fighting game veteran, it's like yeah, like you try to know what to do against like how to use your tools. People always talk about how May beats Happy Chaos, right? I
Yeah.
think yeah, May beats Happy Chaos. But like if you are like new to May and trying to master her, you fight against Happy Chaos.
No.
You're like, okay, how what do I do neutral? What makes her very strong? What does she do? Like you know, you press twist or like you don't know how strong 5K is. Like it involves like around how to adapt. I think
Yeah.
you try to adapt to what the opponent responds to because in neutral the players are gonna like be trying to respond to your like movements or like Dolphin. Like they see Dolphin, they like immediately respond to it. Like
Yeah.
they block. They're like, okay, this guy is gonna probably rely on Dolphin and neutral. They try to like counter or like develop a counter plan against your neutral.
Mhm.
So you have to like I think the word is the ability to be able to like switch your plans,
Yeah.
because we all I think May is a very linear character, and I think she's very easy to get into. But like when you try to master May, you also like try to develop yourself as a player.
Yeah.
Like you try to adapt, you try to see what tools you need to change. Like you have to be fast with how you think.
Of course.
Because Guilty Gear is very unforgiving game.
Yes. Of
Like
course.
like like when you block, so like in offense, we talked about how May can steal turns. So like how she has to steal turns. Like sometimes I just do D to nothing.
Yeah.
Why? Because the opponent is scared of Dolphin Carhead. But if they just smash after 2D, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let Dolphin rock, right? It's like, and if so, and they maybe next time you'll counter hit them. It's like that, right?
Yeah.
I think with how easy she is, I think there's like a lot of stuff that you need. You'll eventually get a lot of bad habits, which is like, hey, dash up 3K or wasting meter.
Mhm.
Then when you realize that, you'll have to remove them. And like, I feel like the more you play against top players,
Mhm.
the more you realize, oh, I have to change my game plan a lot
Yeah.
to against these players or against these matchups. But like, I'm pretty sure that goes for every character, right? But
Yeah.
like, Happy Chaos, let's say if you play Happy Chaos, people like you have so many tools. You can mix it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like as May, you have like what as Dolphin in new pressure. You can't even do beach ball in block strings because it's a long startup, and people that have eyes can just counter hit you out of it.
Yeah.
But in the corner, I think in the corner, like on knockdown, I think it's easy. But like when I say she's hard to master, it's like you need to know what conversions you can get. She has so many ways to convert. Like let's say fast slash counter hit. It's like you gotta react to that. You have to be ready for it in case it happens. Like
Yeah.
she has conversions that are very good in some weird spots, unlike most of the cast. From long range, like to S, like especially fast slash counter hit. Like it happened to me against Apology Man when he did J2K from almost full screen. I did fast slash counter hit and I converted it from full screen. It's like you have to be responsive as man. You have
Yeah.
to like practice that. I don't know. I think when I say hard to exercise, I think that's what I meant. It's like you
Okay.
have to be adaptive. You have to like not be like, hey, they can just press that. I mean, no, there's always like a solution. And sometimes you have to accept like, hey, I'm just in this situation, right?
Yeah. Of
Uh,
course.
I I think situational awareness with May is something that you have to be spot on with. Just because,
Gotcha.
like, yeah, like the more you get better at it, the more overwhelming it can be against your opponent. And like, I mean, sometimes your opponent just wins neutral. You're like, okay, but like, yeah, May, like, uh, try. I think the advice I would make is try to make less linear approach with May. Like, don't just do uh going back into its dolphin or jump at them. Just fight for your space. Like you can play as slow as you want because like the more patient you are, the more like focused you are, the easier it is. Because I think in the corner when she runs her offense, I think her strongest thing is not when she is in your face. I think that's very strong, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's also very strong because she has the ability to box the opponent in. Her
Yeah.
spaced pressure, I think, is very strong. If she did not have that, I think people will not talk about her offense as much. They would just say, "Hey, just FD her,"
Yeah.
right? But it's not easy because the reason is because she can like, oh, you FD me and jump, or I can like try to react to that, or like, if you just try to push me away, I can like still fight for my space. I think
Yeah.
if D is strong versus her, but she deals with it like in a good way.
Gotcha. Um, yeah, no, I hear you. That was great.
Yeah.
One of the things I kind of want to loop back to is at the start of the video, you mentioned that you believe Mei is kind of like a grappler.
Yeah.
Obviously, she has a command grab. Um, I want your opinion on, kind of touching back on that. Is Do you believe her command grab is probably the best in the game? I remember talking to Varix. I did a video with Varix about Nago, and he mentioned that the only command grab you can see being better than Nago's is probably Mei's. Would you agree that it's the strongest command grab in the game, or what do you think about it?
Mm,
It's for
mid screen.
reference. There's Zato, Mei, Sol, Nago, Faust. I
Okay,
believe that's it.
I would say last batch in the corner. I would say last batch in the corner. She had the best command grab because combo with wall break, hard knockdown. That's very strong. I think her command grab can be the best still, but I think now that she obviously no hug the wall break is still very strong because she has access to positive, and Mei with positive is literally her win condition. Uh, I think it's I thought I think Nago and Mei are like contested for top one command grab.
Yeah.
I do not know about Bot because I heard Bot can get Oki from Botbuster now. Is that correct?
Oh my gosh, how did I forget Pot? Oh my, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if Bot can get Oki from his command grab, I think that's very strong. But it's kind of hard for him to access to it. So for me, it's either Nago or Mei.
For
Because
sure.
mainly, but still, getting a command grab that can abuse the risk mechanic is a very big thing. I can see Mei command grab still being the best, but for me, it's like Nagos has this high low. It deals a lot of damage and yeah, it's huge. But
And,
mid screen, I think Mei is better
yeah,
because because she could get like a left right mix up or like a high low. So yeah.
yeah. And on top of that, like you said, a really good point that you mentioned is you can actually abuse wrist during the command grab. Obviously, since it combos. Um, One thing about the command grab as well, which I'm not the most positive on, but it leads in the corner. It leads to a burst safe combo,
Uh,
or is that more depending on the wall health?
I think it depends on the wall. Okay, it's like okay. So all H Dolphin versions are safe on hit.
Yeah.
So wall health plays a big part into it. So if I do like H Dolphin up H Dolphin or vertical H Dolphin, then I do close slash. I can either wait, then do close slash, or just H Dolphin into like wall break. I think it highly depends on the wall health. Yeah, because most of the time in the corner when you get in pressure, the wall gets affected by it, and then when I command throw you, it's like only a 2 or 3 hit combo.
Yeah.
It's very hard to burst, so I can say it's kind of burst safe. Yeah.
Okay. Which is, yeah, of course, very strong.
Yeah.
And one of the last things I can think of that kind of also go into the misconceptions. So obviously you mentioned that there's characters that can give her a harder time in neutral, especially under pressure, like Kai and Nago. Who else? Because the general like thinking of Mei by other people is, well, she doesn't lose any matchups. There's no characters in the game that she loses to. Can't think of a single one. None, zero. She beats all of them, or maybe at worst, like she has like an even one with a couple, but she beats everyone else because of this, that, right? Who, in your opinion, again, I know you said you haven't played much of this patch, but if you can
Yeah.
imagine the game being relatively the same, outside of maybe the matchups you had in mind that were like kind of like, it could be losing or it just feels rough. Those obviously with the system changes of, like you said, DPRC helped her, and she kind of net positive from the no more hard knockdown wall assault. Who do you
Yeah.
think, in your opinion, from obviously someone who plays Mei at the highest level, can give Mei a problem this patch, or is it the rumors are true of she actually doesn't lose to anyone? It's just like she's She's just the
Nah,
goat.
I mean, outside of top players, everybody listens. Everybody look at them play against man. Yeah. I mean, I don't think I should say. Never mind, never mind. They got some adjustments to do. So I think now that the BRC is gone, I think last match I think she lost to Seoul, but now she beat Seoul.
Mhm,
I think May loses to Nago still. She always lost to Nago
mhm.
throughout the game's lifespan. Mainly, but which is I think it's okay to lose to Nago because
Yeah.
it's like the way Nago's designed. You know, he fights for his space pretty well.
Mhm.
Like he's just a wall that is hard to approach.
Yeah.
I like not like we talked about how linear May is, and like in neutral Naga players like can know what the May players want, right?
Mhm.
Because she has little tools in neutral. Yeah, yes, the tools are very strong, right? But like
Yeah.
the like whenever I play Vex, he knows what range to stay at.
Mhm.
What range that is like risky for me to do as Dolphin because I think Naga's XP is literally a button to be used in neutral against May.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, because it's so good.
Yeah.
Like, I could do this, but like we're talking about, I try as May. I try not to be in a range where he can do 5H
Yeah.
because it's very strong. I think she loses to Nago. It's not that bad, but because round start is good for her,
Yeah. I've heard.
it can be. It is cringe. I don't like May Nago round start because it's very cringe. Because like he can walk back and shit like that. But
Yeah.
like I say, compared to the cast, I think May's having a good time against him round start. I think Shinsu Tsunago, I think is just a design which is I'm very fine with it. I used to think she loses to Abba, but I don't know how big is the wild assault change for Abba. So
I don't think it matters too much. To be honest.
yeah, I think I don't. I think it's even, but it's just
Okay.
a very cringe matchup. I think she definitely 100%. By the way, I said with confidence she loses to Anji.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's something I have. I don't think I've heard that. Dang.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. He's literally like the scariest character to do as Dolphin against because I know Anji players like to spin and the
Yeah.
character does not play neutral.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if like he like the way he can punish Mate as buttons, his spin is very good. He can like get a combo from S-button, like spin into combo if she does S-buttons, which is huge.
Yeah.
Because he has a very good amount of health,
Yeah.
tank mains damage. I think his XP is very good against Barry, in my opinion, because it has a really good range, or like it has a really good angle. Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
Ram maybe.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think it's even. If RAM players say maybe it's a RAM, I think they're just getting. I hate that word, but it's gap. I'm sorry.
Yep. I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
yeah, yeah. Because like RAM can still space, like fight for her space pretty well against May, but May's like we talked about how she can represent as Dolphin and do 5K.
Mhm,
But Ram's still like her fast dash is still insane. Her 5H is
mhm.
hard to deal with. Uh, she is probably the best at air to air and doing air to air versus May because
Yeah.
of her JP.
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's even. I think the match is still
Okay.
even. Uh, people, I think like, but like the two things that immediately pop in my head is sorry,
Maybe
I was not
Leo.
not going to. Leo, I always thought it was even, but I always thought it was either side losing or even. But I can see it being even this match because of the BRC being gone.
Okay.
His guard point is still very. Yes, I can do 3K against him, but that shit get hit by 3K because Leo's
Mm.
broken. I I think Johnny might be bad for May this match.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because His dash. We remember how we talked about dash bugging against
Yeah.
May. Like he used to struggle against dash bugging against May, but I can see it being really good for him. Sorry, not like really good for him when I say winning a matchup, but like dash bugging against May, like he's gonna have a much easier time dash bugging against May.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to.
Taking the
I,
space.
I think I used to think it was very winning for May, but now it's either even or like slight winning for May because like he cannot 16 by 5k. His attire is like not that great, right?
Yeah.
So, but he still has mix-ups, and the only reason I'm saying it's like slight winning for May is because Wild Assault is the hard knockdown is gone, and I think Johnny. I think Johnny is one of the few. I think Johnny could have, if I'm not wrong. I might be wrong, but Johnny plays just same job against me because of my super. It was super slow, but I'm not
I
sure
see.
about it.
I see.
Uh, but like I think dash blocking is huge. His movement. Other than that, I think his RPS option after S Dolphin is good because
Gotcha.
he can like get 2K 2D or like he can do like with Mash backdash he can do fast slash.
Okay.
But I don't think it's losing from him.
Okay.
Uh,
The other
I
characters that come to mind, maybe like
I
Faust, or maybe you know, uh, Kai, as you
I
said, Testament,
I
maybe.
I'm scared of Testament. Like I heard they got like a lot of massive changes and
Yeah.
like they received a lot of buffs. And Testament has the toolkits that are good against May, but it was underwhelming. So I'm not sure how strong this Testament now.
Okay.
So because like May struggles against like very overwhelming zoning, which is like
Yeah.
Testament or like Faust or like
Yeah.
I think Testament May is like I'm pretty sure it has gotten better for Testament because like their tools are pretty good. They can like low profile a lot of stuff and like
Hmm.
their 2K can catch May off guard like her Dolphin. Like they
Hmm.
can do IED back Fireball. Fireball is good, but like the Fireball still has the big hurt box at the beginning, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. It's probably still winning for May or
Okay.
yeah. I think Faust is even.
Even. Okay.
Even or slight winning.
Gotcha. Okay.
A lot because Faust has very good walk back speed. He can crawl into May Faust slash, and his backdash is awkward to chase as May
Hmm.
because May, if you're like far range, if you have a good walk back speed, it's very difficult for May to like chase if she's like if she's like away from you. Because she has to charge Dolphin or like hey to compete dashing at you, then throw a fast slash. Fast slash could like walk back and duck under my fast slash.
Hmm.
I think which Grapple is very good at. Like he knows when to backdash, he knows when to like crawl.
Yes. Yeah.
I think like Grapple beat me in Evo. I think he was very prepared compared to like Frosty.
Yeah.
Funny enough, he plays second now. He's again, but like he knows like when to throw items, when not to. I played with Apology Man as well. I think G2K is the best move to demotivate May players from doing Brainless 3Ks
Yeah.
because 3K does not hit fast G2K.
Yeah.
And it can get like a big. He can get like mix from it. I think
Hmm.
we don't have okay. We don't have fast here, but they're like rare. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, because Faust is literally probably the guy with the most entires 5K, 2K, 2S, like
Yeah.
6P. His
Yeah.
6P is insane.
5K.
His air to air is like a second best after Ram. He
Yeah.
has a really good like high super jump.
Yeah.
Like he can chase May. It's very good. But the outburst, the risk reward is just damage. I think in neutral, I think in neutral is even, but the damage is too much. Damage is too much.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, And the last thing I'll ask you is, you briefly touched on it earlier. Some obviously when I asked you some things you would give advice you'd give to other May players that kind of separates you guys. What about to kind of adding into that? What advice would you give to newer players looking to pick up May? Maybe some advice that you wished you knew when you started to learn the character.
Advanced evolution human subject. I think I like try to learn about her tools better because I used just A, it's off an A. I did not realize how strong her buttons were
Mm-hmm.
at the like later on into season one. So it's like, hey, I can fight for my space. I can do this. I can do a lot of things. But you have to remember that your character is linear, so the opponents know your options well. What the like because they know your options are very strong, so they will know what you want.
Yep.
So I think the first thing I'll do is I don't know. I think watching guides about fighting games or like Guilty Gear will help a lot introduce you to the fundamentals. Like I went from a team game to like a 1v1 game, so I had to learn from scratch
Yep.
about how to use my buttons. Like, hey, what learning button interactions is important. Like obviously enjoy it again, don't burn yourself out. But I think the wish, or like the tip I would want from the beginning is how can like learning how to fight for my space well, like how to make the opponent scared or like respect you more.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's like the number one tip is how can I be strong without a dolphin? I feel like
Mm-hmm.
learning how to use tools better or like focusing on it, not just this dolphin is the thing I would have wanted to learn from the start.
Gotcha.
Yeah, don't don't give up space by doing a lot of because it is common with the May players is obviously people with broken backdash is they backdash a lot and give up space, right? Like I wish I learned not to backdash often and just learn to walk back or like fight for space or like that. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like learn how to walk back or like use the walk back or walk forward movement.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And I believe that is everything. I will put Slash's Twitch on the screen. I know he's hasn't been playing the game as much. Probably just waiting for the patch in October. But regardless,
Oh,
if it ever does come back to streaming again, I will put his Twitch on the screen as long along with his Discord and his Twitter. I'm sure he'll answer any questions. Maybe some people might have about May or maybe how to fight her. Kind of just anything involving May. So. Um,
yeah.
yeah, that will do it. Thank you for watching, and until next time.